Well, here we are in the second part of reoccurring dreams. And in the last episode, you got to see my reoccurring dream or nightmare or whatever you want to call it, depending on what you believe about that. And in this second part, we have Abby sharing her reoccurring dream. So, welcome back. Thanks for sharing this with us.
Okay, here's my dream. My dream takes place in some sort of um it's outdoors and the ground is like clay, and it almost looks like pieces of like an earthquake had pulled the terrain apart, and so you could fall in between these slits in the earth for quite a bit and die, right? So you had to be able to jump over these crevices and these big cracks in the earth. And I just remember it was real hard clay, very dry. I had no idea where we were, where I was, and it was not flat at all. So there were some areas that was kind of uh, like a like a mound where I could see across the land, and all I saw was that there was a Jeep down below, and I knew I had to get to this Jeep. And from where I was up above, I could see that lions were starting to gather and they were getting closer to this Jeep. And then near the Jeep was another vehicle, and it was a convertible. And my friend Chris was in this convertible. And so I started trying to get to her very quickly. And I finally got to her, and I was running. And I did notice in that dream, I was much younger and I was more fit. So I was able to move very quickly and run very quickly. And I also noticed that I had hiking shoes on. I didn't have like sports shoes or tennis shoes or whatever. I had shoes that were appropriate for that, for running around there. So I get Chris and I tell her she has to come with me. She's afraid to get out of her car, and I force her to come with me because her car was too open. So we get to the Jeep, and now there's more. There's like 7 or 8 lions, and they're walking very slowly, um, very slowly towards us. And I jump in the Jeep, and I notice there's no top on the Jeep. So now we're more exposed in the Jeep than she would have been in the convertible. And had I have just stayed up on top, I may even have had a better chance of surviving had I stayed up at the top of this plateau or whatever it was, this bluff, rather than running into the valley there to jump into this Jeep. So I'm trying to start it. The keys are there. I have keys. I'm trying to start it. It's a clutch. So I'm trying to pop the clutch to get it to move before the lions come and they start circling us. But they never like come into the Jeep, which they so easily could have done. But they jump on the hood. They're standing along the side, but they never put their paws or their faces into the Jeep. But I felt petrified, like where I was frozen in fear. And all I could hear was Chris, being very afraid. But I couldn't even talk to her because I became very catatonic. So that's one of the dreams. Had the same dream, same Jeep. Chris isn't in the dream, but it's the same Jeep. Again, I go running down, thinking if I can get into that Jeep, I can drive away. This time, it's tigers, and they're doing the same thing, walking very slowly. Some are laying down, some are sitting up, some are walking, some are running in a circle and kicking up dirt. But I make it to the Jeep. Again, I have the keys. Again, I'm trying to start the car. This time it's an automatic. So this time I can, but it will not start. The starter, and I know it's the starter that's the problem. Again, a tiger jumps on the hood. The other ones are blocking the wheels, but they never come inside the Jeep. The third time, it's a bunch of hyenas. And with them, I was more afraid than the tiger and the lions. They were in a group, and they were snarling, and they had saliva hanging from their jowls, and they were they scared me the most. They didn't jump on the hood, but again, they were like kept running and like charging at the Jeep at the side. So I could feel them where my leg was near the open door, where a door would be. I could feel them hitting the door and everything like that, but no, none of them came actually into the Jeep. But in all of these instances, it's I get to a state where I'm catatonic. I am so frozen with fear, and I feel like I'm having a heart attack. And each time it's that same terrain that is so dried up, so with these large crevices and breaks in the earth, and here's this Jeep out in the middle of nowhere. So that is my dream.
So, uh, this is interesting because this is a dream that plays on the side of fear and nightmare almost.
Yes, very much.
Very nightmarish. So, the common elements are the ground, the dry ground that you describe as hard clay. There's a vehicle that seems to be adequate for the terrain, and the type of animal is almost the same. Is
Mhm.
they're felines except for the hyena,
Yeah,
canine.
I don't know, but I did notice right away they all have four legs. But then I thought, well, it's not like I would be afraid of a duck.
Yeah, but they're predators.
Right,
They're animals
predators.
of the jungle, and they're
Hmm.
predators, and they attack people. So let's start from the ground up.
Okay.
So this is something that you don't mention is w- when are these dreams coming back? What is going on in your life?
Well, I think you know what? I always used to journal my dreams, but I don't recall anything of stress during those times.
Nothing
And
stressful.
nothing stressful. But then look at this. When do we really feel our stress? It's when the hard times is done and we can relax,
Post
you know.
traumatic stress.
Yeah, doesn't
So
happen when you're at war. It's when you come back and you're in a state where you can let go. So I can't think of what was going on prior to that, but when I had the dreams, nothing was going on. Like things were pretty, as you would say, mundane, pretty
Monday
normal.
normals. Because I will say that other than that, it will be your ground is shaking,
Hmm.
something earth shattering, or something came afterwards as a
I
premonition.
like that
This
you said earth shattering. I never even thought of that.
earth shattering. So the common ground here, the common element here is something earth shattering.
Yeah.
There is a way out of this earth shattering situation because in each dream you have a vehicle equipped for it. The
Hmm.
first time being the vehicle, stick vehicle, might not seem the quickest to respond,
Hmm.
as opposed that the second time that you mentioned is an automatic vehicle and it will be the swift response to that, quicker to jump in, start up and go. But you were having some issues. You mentioned that the
Yeah.
starter was not working. So uh, and interesting enough is that in the first time around, you have the choice of two vehicles. You have
Yeah.
something that was adequate, and you have something tremendously impractical
Very.
for that setting, which is the
Yeah.
convertible, because these
Yeah.
animals can jump in.
Hmm.
And probably a convertible is a luxury vehicle that is not equipped for that terrain. So
Right.
in the first two, actually in all of them, seems that you have an adequate instrument for the situation, but that instrument wasn't responding. So the question here is, how equipped are you with the, how well equipped, or how do you know to use the instrument? You know
Well,
how many times in our lives we say that we have the solution in our hands, but we don't know how to apply it?
Well, I thought it was interesting because first with the first one that it was stick. I remember when I got in there and I saw it was stick, I was so happy that I knew how to drive stick because that was I remember feeling relief, and I remember that I had the keys right in the ignition. So I didn't come with keys, they were already
They were
there.
already there.
And they're always there, but the friggin' Jeep, there's always an issue.
I'll tell you what, I learned how to drive a stick in the military, but I'm not gonna be happy jumping on a car that is a stick, much better with my best sciatica. So
Oh, that's true.
no, so that's not gonna happen. I don't care if it's a luxury vehicle. So we had two things here. We have apparently what is the right tool, but you are not uh, knowledgeable, or how to jump to your feet and manage the right tool. The animals are predator, and there's no doubt that they're going after you. Now, the lion, the king of the jungle, very powerful animal. That's what they call
Yeah.
them. And then tigers. So, what do animals mean to you? I know that you're a person that likes pets, and you're one of the few that likes cats and dogs.
Well, everybody likes dogs. Everybody like there's the dog groups and the cat groups. I like them
Yeah,
both,
you
but
like them both.
I did notice right away that these were predatory animals that come in a pack.
And they come in packs.
You
Yeah.
know, so I was like, I was first shocked that they didn't kill me, even though I was so petrified. So I don't really know what to make of that. Normally, what I would see with the lion is what was it about my pride? Because lions are come in a pride. So I was always like, is it something that has to do with my pride that I can't get this vehicle to get going? I have the keys for this vehicle,
Mm-hmm.
I have the drive, I want to move, to get out of this situation, whatever the situation is that I may have been in my life. But for some reason, I had trouble with the clutch. So I kept having to pop it. The second time, as soon as I kept turning the key, I know enough about vehicles to know it was a starter. So why was I having issues with starting this vehicle? Maybe the vehicle is the project.
Yeah.
The top is off, so it's visible and
Yeah.
it's vulnerable to outside things such
Yep.
as the predators. And as you know, I've been writing a book that may have a big backlash.
Yeah.
So that was one of the things I remember with the hyenas, thinking, could it be because I've gotten further with the book and now I'm going to have this backlash of what I'm writing, and are they going to laugh it off, or are
Mm.
these people going to attack me,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So let me ask you, how many years this been going on?
Oh my God, this has been going on since probably since about the mid to 2008, 9, which is right around that time. That's when
So
it started.
14 years now. So
Yeah,
so 14 years. There's something in these 14 years that keeps coming at you with
yeah,
this mortal fear.
yeah,
Mortal fear because You get petrified. You
Well,
have
the hyena is since that time. The other ones were prior,
were
but
prior.
going back to when you said what was going on in your life, the hyena one to me was the most problematic. And that is
Problematic.
when I started writing that book.
Well, it seems that it's escalating.
Yeah, yeah.
It's escalating. So here we go. It's something earth-shattering
Hmm.
that even having the resources there, there's something in you that prevents you to using that resource effectively. You even have a friend,
Hmm.
someone with you. You're not alone. It's not that you've been given this magical tools or you figure it out. No, you you needed to figure out, but you have a person by you. Yet this is something that is paralyzing you. There's something that is bringing you mortal fear.
Hmm.
Mortal
Yeah,
fear of being eaten alive.
yeah,
The
yeah.
proverbial being eaten alive, as in something I cannot recover from.
Right.
That's what
Yeah.
it was. That's what it all comes down to. The fact that these are predatory animals that are jumping at you, that are uh, uh, hunting you down, and see an opportunity to eat you alive. And when we talk about being eaten alive, it's like that's it. I'm done. So that's what it is. The tool becomes better. It still has some things, but it becomes better. So the question here is it is there's gonna be a next time when I'm gonna have something that is gonna be on equal or in a position to overpower this enemy as the
Hmm.
tool is getting better. And when you have that dream next time, because I'm sure there's going to be a next time, is had this tool, that resource that I have, evolve to the point that I can overcome what is going to eat me.
I think it's going to be interesting because I do have the ability and uh, to jump into dreams.
Hmm.
So I'm going to make sure sometime in the next day or two, I'm going to make sure to go back to that terrain, go back to that setting, and see what I can find out. That's going to be interesting because really, why am I jumping from this above going down below to a Jeep without a top? I have the ability to put a top on it while I'm still above, you know. I can even bring the Jeep to me. I can even make the Jeep a plane. You know, why did I feel I couldn't use all my abilities?
You can also use the Jeep as a weapon,
True. I mean,
or
there was
you
so
can
many
bring
things.
something that you
Yeah,
can create a distraction. You can bring food. You
you
can meet that
you're right.
bloody raw meat to throw at them and distract them.
Right. I mean, there was so many other things I could have come up with. So I wasn't sure, and I knew I was in a dream. Have so when you were having your bride dreams, did you know you were in a dream?
No, back in the day.
See, I always know I'm in a dream. Always have.
No,
So
when I
I
was that
don't
young,
know.
no.
I don't know why I felt like I had to just deal with what was happening because I could have changed it at any time.
Because there's something there that is really a big fear, and this is something that I mention in my videos when I talk about crystals. There are fears and there are fears, and this dream is about a mortal fear
Yeah, very big
represented by
fat.
the dreams that is the fear of being eaten alive. So
Yeah,
there's something ongoing, and you have to dig in. I know that you have a very good idea of what can be that represents the consequence
yeah,
is devastating, is fatal.
yeah, true.
But your tools and your guidance, how about this time you replace that friend with a guide, with a spirit guide?
True. Well, then I might as well just jump out of it. But I
Mm,
never think to jump out of it because I feel like I have to go through it
yeah,
to
that
get to the root of what I'm trying to figure out.
yeah, yeah, what is going on?
Hmm.
Exactly, exactly.
Hmm.
So those are the elements, basically something earth shattering that has the potential of fatal consequences. And even when you have the tools right there to pull through, there's something there that is not working quite right.
Right.
However, it keeps evolving, not at the same. This is the other thing, the speed at which the threat is evolving versus the tool or the weapon to combat it. They're not
Right.
going at the same time. So the next at the same level. So the next time you really have to come up with something to overpower this. And yeah, one of the things is use that car as a weapon
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
bring a distraction until you
Yeah.
figure out what is it that is causing me this mortal fear.
You know what I'm going to do? The next time I'm doing that, I'm not going to call my guide. I'm going to call Helen Salinas because she's a pet psychic also. And she can tell me what this lion and tigers and hyenas are thinking and why they are in my dream. That is what I'm going to do.
Well, there's predatory, and the hyena is also the element of mockery. So
Yes.
actually, you know what? Let's step it back. I know that you saw the faces
Yeah.
and everything. The picture was really ugly, but there's another side of the hyena of the laughing when, if it's not mortal fear, it's the fear of ridicule
I thought of
and
that
shame.
too. Yeah, I thought of that too. And in our family, we have a thing where we laugh when something like not so good is happening to us. We just have
Mm,
this thing of laughing. And and I thought of that and I'm like, no, because I'm not the one that's laughing. It's the
mm.
hyenas that are laughing and they're coming in a pack. So, but I know why is that so upsetting? That wouldn't be upsetting, but there's something there
Yeah, that is
that
upsetting.
that is upsetting.
Yeah, even in because it's, if shame, shameful consequences or ridicule is something that inspires mortal fear in some people
Hmm. Hmm.
because it's another form of being eaten alive or, like we said, laugh out of court.
Mhm.
So those are the elements of your dream. It's something that the two things keep evolving: the threat and the resource to combat that threat.
Hmm.
So, and I feel there's gonna be another episode. So let's see what happens in the ground, what happens in
Ah,
your surrounding, what's the animal this time, and what do you have in your at your disposal to combat this. That's what I believe this dream comes down to, is there's something that is mortal fear, and the resources that you have either are not completely in top shape, or is there's something of you still learning how to use that resource.
yeah, could very well be. That was fun. I enjoyed it.
That's fun, and I'm sure there's gonna be more reoccurring dreams. And to all our collaborators and to our audience, if you have a dream, just sign up for our newsletter, tell us your dream, and we'll take a shot at interpreting it or discussing the common threads of these dreams. Abby, thank you, like always, for being here with us. And
Thank you. Thank you.
and until next time, sweet dreams.